APC Showdown, Sam-Sumana versus the Constitution, Sierra Leone 2028 Flagbearer Race. Welcome to the Bold African Voice, BAV. I'm Ahisatu Kamara Kargbo. Today we're unpacking Sierra Leone's political drama, APC Secretary General Lansana Dumbuya versus former Vice President Sam-Sumana in the battle for the 2028 Flagbearer Race. Is this a story of comeback and resilience, or a constitutional showdown that could reshape Sierra Leone's democracy? Stay tuned, because this goes far beyond one man. It's about the future of politics in Africa. In the grand political theater of Sierra Leone, the All People's Congress, APC, has just thrown a surprising twist. Former Vice President Dr. Sam-Sumana is officially back in the party, but may not yet be back at the starting line of leadership. On the 5th of September 2025, APC Secretary General Lansana Dumbuya clarified that Sam-Sumana is indeed a registered member, with no personal grudges held by the party. Yet, he must still wade through the formal readmission procedures and honor the Constitution's requirement of 5 uninterrupted years of membership before being eligible to contest for key leadership roles like Flagbearer, per Section 13 of the APC Constitution. Fast forward 2 days earlier, on the 3rd of August 2025, Sam-Sumana publicly declared his bid to be the APC flag-bearer ahead of the 2028 general elections, a move that added dramatic tension to an already suspense-laden plot. He reaffirmed his loyalty to the party, but also voiced concerns that the Constitution's rules might be unduly restrictive. Critical analysis: law versus political ambition. You can almost hear the legal scholars sharpening their pencils. The APC is straddling a razor: uphold the Constitution to maintain rule of law credibility, or bend the rules slightly to accommodate a high-profile return and potentially energize their political base. Dumbuya insists that even if Sam-Sumana's political star is bright, the rules cannot be skipped, regardless of one's former office. On
This and other issues did program for you this morning, as we can get the APC position after we then first Vice President we na Alhaji Chief Samuel Sam-Sumana be only press conference also he talked to a member of the public say they take the APC party gonna PPRC because of in status where the party not able for regularize it. As for he believes say in a APC Pekin and it effect for injustice where he say they happen at the party. Well, we start with the All People's Congress, and on the line now we get the Secretary General when a lawyer Lansana Dumbuya we go can tell we the party position after we then first Vice President Chief Samuel Sam-Sumana be only press conference and talk about several things them way he calls saying an injustice where they happen inside the APC party. Good morning, Sec Gen, and welcome to the Breakfast Show.
Yeah, good morning, Khadija. Yeah.
All right, we just don't tell we view them. We see Chief Sam-Sumana, where in status na the APC party, the public not able for regularize them yet, and not able for no in current status na the APC. It be all a press conference na the Simblu, usa address several things them we get for do with them. One of the major things them where he talk about now that he don't care the party gonna PPRC for address in status matter. Firstly, let we start for talk about Chief Sam-Sumana in status na the APC as a Secretary General. You are the head of the administrative wing of the APC. Start for clarify Chief Sam-Sumana in status for we.
Well, you know, it is sad that this has become a kind of issue where people then they try for build mountain out of, and it is sad at this point in time that we get for they go all around so many other things where we get many things for concentrate ban at the party for build them for make sure say we able for win the elections at first ballot. Sam-Sumana, as we all know, was the former vice president. Chief Sam-Sumana was the former vice president of the party, and at some point in time, for some reason, I was not the Secretary General then, but I was still a very senior member of the party. For some reason, he was expelled. And after his expulsion, he went to another political party, created that political. He was part of those people who created the party, and he contested against the APC party. Okay. After some time, he decided that he wants to come back to the party. I was still not yet the Secretary General. And at some point in time, the NAC then, they wanted to the NAC seat and then decide, let them get for Kamna the party as he don't express the desire for Kamna the party. Did you get me, Khadija?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Yes, you did get me?
Would they get you loud and clear? Go on, Sekjen.
Yeah. So, NAC go then get the decision, say, for calling back na the party. And the National Secretary General then, who is now the Deputy National Deputy National Chairman of the party and who is also the acting Chairman of the party at present, wrote a letter to him saying that he is accepted to come to the party again, but subject to the decision of the National Delegate Conference. You know, so let me say this about Sam-Sumana. It's not about where he come to the party. Sam-Sumana has been trying to come to the party with all should I don't talk so, and I was not there. But I didn't fit say we should, you know, allow everyone to come to the party. So my guest and then card he requested for. I know initially he wanted to be reinstated. So let me say this, Khadija. His choice of
all right, that's the lawyer Lansana Dumbuya, we na the Secretary General for the All People's Congress. Yes, Sekjen, go ahead.
According to the 2022 Constitution, anybody where they don't grab na the party or we resign from the party, you know, go another party, we want come back. The Constitution, when our Section 13 say if we reapply, if we readmit the person, it should be readmission. Okay, Sam-Sumana in contention always was that he wants to be reinstated. Reinstated, and you know what reinstate means? Means, you know, you are to get something, you know, which you had before. That is reinstatement, to go in your position you had before. So the party said, no, we have a constitution. And when we go to the convention, the 2023 convention, before they go there, you must remember, say, the convention will be a court-ordered convention. So Fisher was very clear what we should do at the convention. It specifically make provision for them when they were the non-drive na the party. When we been thinking specifically that particular direction, they even though it been put on there, but specifically now for Sam-Sumana, it been make because at the point in time from the party expelled. He was not expelled, he was suspended. Even the other gentleman, Sandy, was not expelled, he was suspended. So Sam-Sumana at the point in time was the only one really we could think of who was suspended. So if Fisher say, when we go convention, this 2020 convention, because we are not being put the issue of readmission for address membership, we want to go address the constitution. We want to go make sure say we get the 2022 constitution. Now, when they go to this 2023 convention, we make sure say the issue of readmission in compliance with the 2023 constitution, that the 2022 constitution, that is section 13, specifically Fisher talk and say we have to put readmission on the agenda for go readmit all the one they wait and don't there. So when we go to the convention, that is exactly what Ibrahim Sori, who will conduct the election, did. He asked them, and Ibrahim Sori is a lawyer. He wanted to comply with that order of Fisher, Justice Fisher, because it was a court directive. So if we comply with a court directive, and it is based on that court decision that we his present membership card, he is now a member of the party. And I think that is what I am happy for. All we should do now is for him to focus and make sure he helps the party and work for the party. You see, the issue of leadership in the party, which everybody, we have many people now, wants to be, is sometimes people should look at it as a divine calling. If God not put an, he not put an. If God put an, he put an. Whichever way, whichever status somebody being at the party, if God say, and be leader, and be leader. So let us be content with what we have at the point in time, especially so when it is a court-ordered convention. We cannot go against the court. This is something I don't want to talk about, Khadija, because when you say this, people feel aggrieved. Even when you are saying the right thing, the judgment is there. If you want the judgment, I'll forward it to you. But I don't want this issue of bantering words, as if sometimes the Secretary General or the party, I know like Sam-Sumana, no one Sam-Sumana for Kambi Flagbearer, no one Sam-Sumana for... That is not so. But people have their own ways. And, this is the last time I'm going to address the Sam-Sumana issue, the Chief Sam-Sumana issue, because people tend to misunderstand everything. So this is the last time, and it is because it is your radio station. That is why I'm doing it. Otherwise, if it is another outlet, I would not have done it. So I hope people are listening to this to understand that the party wants Sam-Sumana, the party loves Sam-Sumana, the party wants any other person in the party to come back, but we have to do it by the Constitution. We don't have to do it outside the Constitution. That is the position, Khadija.
Sergeant, as a party, they consider the concerns them way Alhaji Chief Sam-Sumana don't raise. Where they say they care on go na the PPRC, they see them in concerns here.
Khadija, I don't know if I am the one giving Sam-Sumana, Chief Sam-Sumana advice. Again, I will say let him come to the party and work. He has received his membership card, which he has been trying to get for very long. He asked me, let me say this to the public. We had a meeting with Sam-Sumana, and he accepted that card in the meeting, in the presence of witnesses. And also, he sent people to me to come and tell me that he wanted that particular card and that particular status that I gave him. After he received the card, he begins to say that, he wants something else. Well, I don't want to go into that. That is his own view, and I don't want to seem as if I have any issue with him. I do not. And we are looking at the concern, and if he's going to PPRC is a body that regulates political party. So, but if I would advise him, this is a very critical time in his political life, and also the political life of the APC. I'll advise him that any step he takes now is going to define his future and whatever will happen to him. So I'll advise him to come to the party, we talk, and let him work for the parties. When you work, people see what you have done. If you have done good, you will be rewarded good. Status in the party does not matter. If you do what is right for the party and the membership of the party will reward you. You may not know the reward. So if it goes to PPRC, if PPRC calls us, we'll go there and we'll explain the position. But as I said to you, Khadija, you then are broadcasting field now. Would you go against the court order? I'm asking you, Khadija, will you go against the court order?
Chairman, normally, the lawyer then can say the court is supreme, but according to Chief Sam-Sumana, na in press conference, he said it a fight against injustice. The APC in any way don't commit any injustice to Sam-Sumana?
Khadija, of any injustice, I am implementing a court order, and if there is any injustice, maybe it is the court, not the APC, because the court gave the APC a directive. Go readmit all those who have been expelled. And that is exactly what the party did. And if that is injustice, I don't know, So, but for me, that is all I can say now. And I'll just advise each and every one of the party, all the one that we don't know, let we all come together. And I advise Sam-Sumana to abandon that particular exercise, it will not be good for him.
So
I mean, that is my own candid advice. He may not know it. He may think that maybe I am afraid for him to take the APC but it will not be good for him.
If he not take this particular action like you advise him not for do, you think say the APC party go able for handle in concerns them where it is now this recent program where it be hold for address the public and self in support of them?
So let me ask you again, Khadija, what are the concerns? If you are saying that the status of waiting the gear, you know, Khadija, the thing is, whatever happened, he was expelled. He went to another party. And you come back, then give membership. I think that should suffice. I think that should suffice for now. You may want more because you've been in the party before. You may want to go back to your last position which you had. But really, Khadija, I mean, political parties have their own rules and regulations. They have the constitution. The constitution is there. For me, I cannot go outside the constitution. That is why people are very frustrated with me. I cannot go outside the constitution for now. If somebody wants to do any other thing, I'll advise him not to do anything detrimental to the APC because it will not be good for him or her. But I will have to make sure that the constitution is implemented. I know a lot of people don't want it. You know, many things don't happen at the party. For example, if you remember when he came the youth leader of the National Young Congress, Oli, when he reached age, we implement the constitution. Dr. Samoa Kamara, when it comes to the 6 months, we implement the constitution. So why should this be different? I really don't understand, and I find it very difficult for people, the same people who are jubilating when we address the Dr. Samoa Kamara issue on the 6 months when the constitution say, they are the same people who want us now to go against the constitution. Initially, they were happy that we are implementing the constitution to the letter, but now they don't want us to implement it to the letter. It is strange the way people behave.
Some people see this particular action where Chief Sam-Sumana, I beg your pardon, where he want for take the party to the PPRC as another battle for the APC, where plenty people believe say if it succeed in waiting it do so, this go get for be challenge for the APC ahead of the 2028 elections. When they see this as a battle where they come for the APC?
I don't know how you see it, Khadija, when you say it could be a battle. It can never be a battle. Whatever the PPRC says, you know, I believe I've done the right thing. But whatever PPRC say, just put the pros and cons together. Whichever way, it will not affect the APC. It will not.
Second, una done the battle with Second, the APC done the battle with Sam-Sumana in issue from 2018. Usai he go join the C4C and contest, and the nation see waiting down the cause on a popularity na kono that particular split day. Usai Sam-Sumana been join the C4C and contest for them. It caused una a whole lot, and now una still there on the same battle with Sam-Sumana. And according to Sam-Sumana, in a first generation of the APC, so it go fight all kind way against this injustice where the APC party they treat them. Una they foresee a repetition of 2018 where it caused una a lot of votes. Nakono?
Khadija, I am also a first generation APC person, and I'm talking based on that. And I've been around the corridors of the APC for quite a very long time, since I was very, very young. Maybe some people may have left, gone somewhere, you know, go abroad, but I have always been around that corridor. I cannot speak for the Kono people, but I know the Kono people are getting wiser, and the Kono people know what, you know, benefits them, and the Kono people are in a position to decide, you know, as to whether, you know, the way this government they misbehave and kill the aspirations of not only the Kono people, but also the entire country. The Kono people will decide as to what to do at the end of the day. But I don't want it to look as if you want to put this up as Sam-Sumana against the APC.
But now so it seems like APC. Now, Sekjen, now so it seems like no. Sam-Sumana versus the APC.
It may seem to you, but Sam-Sumana is APC. Whatever he has to do, we will discuss it wherever we go. He has taken me. I don't know. You know that he took me to the disciplinary committee. You may not know that. He may not have. Maybe you maybe talk in a press conference or not talk. He can go to the disciplinary committee of the APC party. Do you know that?
He not come to the public.
Committee say me give a date for members we are not supposed for them. They are not supposed for them. It can give transparent as supposed for the courts of the matter. I was elected as a national executive in 2012. That particular convention where they make can give you membership, and you want me to give you membership outside my mandate were not secretary. That is not correct. So the chief committee tell and say they don't hear that matter because they don't have the mandate, because that has already the speaker.
On the flip side, Sam-Sumana invokes broader democratic principles, arguing that his constitutional right as a Sierra Leonean to seek office should align with internal party practices. Africa-wide comparison: who skips the queue? Across the continent, political parties oscillate between constitutional orthodoxy and pragmatic accommodation. In Nigeria, the All Progressives Congress enforces zoning, but sometimes flexes if the political stakes are high. In Kenya, the Jubilee-era party shifted rules mid-game to accommodate new power players. In contrast, Botswana's BDP has largely adhered to internal rules, resulting in orderly transitions. Sierra Leone's APC thus finds itself in familiar company, balancing party discipline with political expediency. Forward-looking charm and caution. Looking ahead to 2028, a few scenarios emerge. 1. Strict constitutional path. Sam-Sumana waits until membership eligibility is satisfied. By then, he'd either meet the 5-year rule, if readmitted swiftly, or a legal constitutional challenge might stretch the party's patience. The APC avoids controversy but risks sidelining potentially popular candidates. 2. Reinterpretation or amendment. The APC could amend the Constitution cautiously to include provisions for exceptional cases like high-profile returnees. But such a move could be seen as bending the rules, special dispensations for VIPs, and unsettle grassroots members. 3. Judicial intervention. If Sam-Sumana pushes a legal challenge, invoking his rights under national law, the courts or even regional bodies like the ECOWAS court could weigh in. He's shown a willingness to take matters into court in the past. A dash of humor. You could almost imagine Sam-Sumana as a guest who crashed the party, took off his shoes, and now claims he's been dancing on the dance floor, but must still get formal ID check before being allowed to perform the grand finale. Meanwhile, the party elders shuffle between being courteous hosts and strict bouncers. Latest news summary, 5 September 2025. Lansana Dumbuya clarifies Sam-Sumana's membership status and the constitutional hurdles that remain. 3rd of August 2025. Sam-Sumana declares his intention to be APC Flagbearer for 2028, renewing debate around eligibility. The Kono factor, home turf as political currency. Sam-Sumana's declaration was not made in a vacuum. In Kono District, his stronghold, grassroots groups are already mobilizing. Many in Kono feel their region has historically been marginalized within national politics, despite its diamond wealth. Sam-Sumana, being a son of the soil, becomes not just a politician, but a symbol of long-denied recognition. The APC leadership must therefore weigh alienate Kono at the risk of internal fractures, or embrace Sam-Sumana and risk setting a precedent of bending rules for political expediency. In Sierra Leone, where regional loyalty often rivals party loyalty, the Kono factor could make or break national elections. Just as the SLPP, their grip on the southeast has often served as a political insurance policy. The APC cannot afford to lose Kono permanently to its rivals, and Sam-Sumana knows this leverage all too well. Africa-wide echoes, from Accra to Addis. The Sam-Sumana saga mirrors broader African patterns. Ghana. Recall when former President Jerry Rawlings insisted on internal party discipline in the NDC, but grassroots pressure often tilted candidate choices. Party constitutions said one thing, but political necessity whispered another. Kenya. The handshake between Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga in 2018 rewrote Jubilee's internal balance, showing that constitutional clauses often bow to political mathematics. South Africa, the ANC continues to battle factionalism over internal processes versus popular will. Ramaphosa's rise and Zuma's recall are testaments to this tension. Zimbabwe. The expulsion and later rehabilitation of ZANU-PF cadres after factional disputes echo the Sierra Leonean script almost word for word. The lesson? In African party politics, constitutions are important, but politics often plays judge, jury, and executioner. Forward-looking scenarios. Round 2. Let's push the crystal ball a little further. 1. The big tent. Compromise. APC could quietly cut a deal, allowing Sam-Sumana to contest, but framing it as unity over technicalities. The Constitution remains sacred on paper, but political pragmatism wins in practice. 2. The wait your turn doctrine. Dumbuya's strict line could prevail, forcing Sam-Sumana to bide his time. But would the Kono grassroots wait patiently until 2033? Or would they flirt with SLPP in frustration? 3. The courtroom drama. Imagine a legal battle where Sierra Leone's Supreme Court, or even the ECOWAS Court of Justice, becomes the ultimate arbiter. Such a case could set a continental precedent on the supremacy of party constitutions versus national democratic rights. 4. The wild card factor. Politics loves surprises. If Sam-Sumana feels stonewalled, what's stopping him from spearheading a new third force movement or leveraging diaspora support for an independent candidacy? After all, Africa's political history is littered with returning sons, launching bold movements outside the two-party tradition. A sprinkle of humor. If Sierra Leonean politics were a Nollywood film, Sam-Sumana's role would be the estranged brother knocking at the family gate. I'm back and I want my inheritance. The family elder, APC, replies, yes, you're welcome, but the will says you must first serve 5 years of probation before touching the gold. Cue dramatic music. Why this matters beyond a PC. The 2028 elections are shaping up not just as a contest of parties, but as a referendum on the credibility of Sierra Leone's democratic institutions. If APC bends the rules, critics will say, same old politics. If they enforce them strictly, they risk alienating a vital support base. Either way, the decision will ripple into Sierra Leone's fragile democratic fabric and beyond. Across Africa, where questions of intra-party democracy are rising, Nigeria's dollar primaries, Ghana's competitive delegate battles, South Africa's ANC conferences, Sierra Leone's handling of Sam-Sumana could become a case study in balancing rules with realpolitik. The return of the prodigal politician, Sam-Sumana's comeback arc. To understand why this saga feels like déjà vu, we need to rewind to 2015. Sam-Sumana, then vice president, was controversially sacked by President Ernest Bai Koroma. The official narrative cited abandoning his duties. but most analysts saw it as a political divorce cloaked in legalese. Sam-Sumana, never one to go quietly, dragged Sierra Leone all the way to the ECOWAS Court of Justice, which in 2017 ruled his dismissal illegal and ordered compensation. The ruling was a landmark for West Africa, where courts rarely challenge sitting governments. That battle cemented his image as both political survivor and constitutional stickler. In fact, one could argue that Sam-Sumana today is hoisted by his own petard. He once waved the Constitution as a shield, and now the APC Constitution is being waved back at him as a sword. The irony is not lost on Sierra Leoneans, many of whom quip, "When you fight with constitutions, sometimes they fight back." Regional implications: West Africa's playbook of political returns. Sam-Sumana is hardly alone in his resurrection attempt. Africa's political stage is filled with comeback kids who return after exile, expulsion, or disgrace. Laurent Gbagbo, Côte d'Ivoire, ousted, tried, acquitted, and still came back to form a new party. Atiku Abubakar, Nigeria, former vice president who defected across multiple parties like a footballer switching clubs, yet remains a perennial presidential candidate. Raila Odinga, Kenya, lost 5 presidential bids, but still commands national influence, proving persistence pays. Robert Mugabe's lieutenants, Zimbabwe, many expelled cadres later re-entered ZANU-PF under rehabilitation, showing that party gates are never fully locked. For Sierra Leone, the Sam-Sumana saga is not just about one man's eligibility. It touches a wider African debate. Are political parties guardians of rules or flexible vehicles for winning power? Too rigid, and they risk alienating strong constituencies. Too flexible, and they lose credibility as democratic institutions. Forward momentum, 2028 as a litmus test. The APC's handling of Sam-Sumana's candidacy will ripple beyond Freetown. If APC enforces the 5-year rule strictly, it will signal to West Africa that internal democracy is maturing. Parties are no longer mere personality cults. If APC bends the rules for Sam-Sumana, it may energize their electoral prospects, but feed cynicism that constitutions are decorations, not directions. If the courts intervene again, Sierra Leone could set another ECOWAS precedent, this time on intra-party democracy versus individual political rights. Either way, 2028 will be a litmus test for Sierra Leone's democracy and a case study for African scholars of constitutionalism. A closing smile for now. Picture it, a Kono town hall in 2027. One elder leans over to another and whispers, "We chased this man out, then paid him millions after the court case, and now he wants to be president. This country, politics is like Koto Norde. Crab never dies." Kono grassroots dynamics, diamonds, delegates, and diaspora dollars. No analysis of Sam-Sumana's standing is complete without zooming into Kono District, Sierra Leone's diamond-rich but politically marginalized region. Kono is famous for 3 things: diamonds, resilience, and stubborn loyalty to its own. For decades, Kono has been treated as a political swing district, often courted during elections, but sidelined once the dust settles. Sam-Sumana, being Kono's most prominent political son, taps into a deep well of regional pride. His grassroots appeal lies not only in his survival story, but also in the narrative that, if a Kono man can rise to the presidency, it will finally bring respect to the district local youth groups, women's associations, and even traditional leaders have echoed calls for him to be given a fair shot within the APC. Diaspora politics adds spice to this dynamic. Kono expatriates in the United States and Europe are already mobilizing financial support. Remember, Sierra Leonean elections are often decided not just by local votes, but by diaspora fundraising power. Sam-Sumana, who spent years cultivating diaspora ties during his political exile, is positioning himself as the candidate who can unite home and abroad. But here lies the paradox. While Kono wants him, the APC elite fears creating a regionally captive candidate who may struggle to consolidate votes beyond his stronghold. The question is, will Kono's loyalty translate into national viability? APC's wider factional politics, old guards, new aspirants, and power calculations. Sam-Sumana's return is not just a personal story. It's a chess move on a crowded board. The APC is still nursing wounds from the 2023 elections, where allegations of rigging, donor skepticism, and the Bio vs. Samura Kamara saga left the party bruised. The Flagbearer race for 2028 is already shaping up into a three-way contest. 1. The old guard, Samura Kamara and loyalists. Samura, the 2023 Flagbearer, still commands a large following. His supporters argue that continuity is stability, but critics whisper that another Kamara run may feel like reheating stale soup. 2. The returnee, Sam-Sumana, banking on his comeback story, Kono loyalty, and diaspora fundraising. His pitch, I've been wronged before, but I'll right the wrongs for Sierra Leone. 3. The young blood, emerging APC figures. Rising technocrats and younger politicians within APC see both Samura and Sam-Sumana as yesterday's men. Their argument, if APC wants to win 2028, it needs fresh faces, not recycled veterans. The Secretary General's constitutional stance may in fact be less about rigid principle and more about containing factional warfare. By keeping Sam-Sumana technically ineligible for now, the party leadership buys time to negotiate power-sharing arrangements behind the scenes. After all, African parties often treat constitutions like traffic lights. Red means stop, unless there's no police around. Africa-wide comparison, factions everywhere. Factionalism is the heartbeat of African opposition politics. Nigeria's PDP oscillated between northern and southern candidates until zoning broke down under pressure. South Africa's ANC lives in permanent factional warfare between radical economic transformation loyalists and Ramaphosa's reformists. Ghana's NPP has managed factions better, but only by enforcing strict delegate systems that keep fights contained within internal primaries. The APC is therefore not unique. What matters is whether its internal battles will end in unity or in yet another split that weakens its chances in 2028. A slice of humor. One APC supporter was overheard at a tea shop in Freetown saying, "This flag-bearer race is like a Sierra Leonean wedding. Too many uncles fighting to sit at the high table, while the bride, the party, is just trying to keep the peace." The legal battlefield, courts, constitutions, and creative lawyering. When Lansana Dumbuya insists that the rules stand as they are, he is not simply quoting party scripture, he is also signaling that the next front may well be the courts. And if there's one thing Sierra Leone's recent history has shown, it's that politics and law are increasingly inseparable bedfellows. Sam-Sumana himself set that precedent back in 2015 to 2017, when he dragged the state to the ECOWAS Court of Justice over his dismissal as vice president. He won. That ruling not only embarrassed Sierra Leone internationally, but also emboldened politicians across West Africa to see regional courts as pressure valves when domestic institutions feel too partisan. Fast forward to today. If the APC insists on the 5 uninterrupted years clause, expect Sam-Sumana's lawyers to argue that such a restriction infringes on his fundamental right to political participation under the Sierra Leone Constitution, 1991, and international conventions Sierra Leone has signed, like the African Charter on Democracy, Elections, and Governance. The irony? A PC might find itself in the same defensive legal corner that State House once occupied against Sam-Sumana. As one legal wag in Freetown joked, if you sue the government and win, you're a hero. If you sue your own party, you're a troublemaker. But hey, both pay lawyers' bills. Africa-wide court dramas, party politics meets judicial politics. Sierra Leone would not be alone in this. Across Africa, courts are increasingly drawn into intra-party disputes. Kenya. The Supreme Court has frequently ruled on party nominations and internal processes, reshaping entire candidacies. Nigeria. Courts routinely decide who is the authentic candidate after rival factions produce two flag bearers. Uganda. Opposition figures often challenge party constitutions in court, though Museveni's NRM tends to rewrite rules before judges can even rule. South Africa. ANC internal disputes regularly end up in the courts, with judges forced to interpret obscure party bylaws as if they were constitutional law. The takeaway? African judges are becoming reluctant referees of what used to be family matters within parties. Sierra Leone's judiciary, which already suffers credibility questions, will be under the microscope if Sam-Sumana files a case. Forward-looking risks 1. Judicialization of politics. If every serious party dispute ends up in court, political legitimacy may become judicial legitimacy. That risks overburdening courts and politicizing judges. 2. Constitutional amendments. APC could preempt litigation by amending the Constitution. But here lies danger. Once you open Pandora's box of amendments, everyone wants a clause rewritten, from term limits to candidate qualifications. 3. ECOWAS spotlight again. If Sam-Sumana doesn't get satisfaction at home, he could once again knock on ECOWAS's door. That would internationalize APC's internal crisis and embarrass Sierra Leone's political class. Déjà vu all over again. A light moment. Think of it like a football match. APC's constitution is the referee, Sam-Sumana is the striker demanding a penalty, and the judiciary is VAR, video assistant referee. The crowd, the electorate, is shouting in all directions, penalty, no foul, offside, and ECOWAS? They're the FIFA official who might call in later saying, by the way, the ref got it wrong. 2028 scenarios, the high-stakes chessboard. Sierra Leone's 2028 general elections already look set to be one of the most consequential contests since the end of the Civil War. The stakes? Not just who occupies State House, but whether Sierra Leone's fragile democracy stabilizes or fractures further. Sam-Sumana's eligibility fight is therefore not just a family quarrel within APC, it's a hinge point for the entire political landscape. Scenario 1, APC stands firm, Sam-Sumana sidelined. If the APC insists on enforcing the 5-year uninterrupted membership rule, Sam-Sumana could be barred from contesting as flagbearer. This would likely trigger 3 ripple effects. Internal resentment in Kono. Grassroots supporters may feel betrayed, possibly depressing APC turnout in the district. SLPP could exploit this, portraying itself as the more inclusive option. Sam-Sumana the spoiler. Don't rule out Sam-Sumana running as an independent or creating a third force coalition. Even if he doesn't win, he could siphon enough votes to spoil APC's chances in key battleground regions. APC's image abroad. International partners would see the APC as upholding internal rules, a win for credibility, but at the cost of alienating a powerful base. Scenario 2. APC bends the rules. Sam-Sumana runs. Should APC leadership reinterpret the Constitution or quietly allow Sam-Sumana in, the benefits and risks flip. Unity with a price tag. The party would appear united heading into 2028, with Kono energized and Diaspora fundraising strengthened. Credibility questions. Opponents, both SLPP and rival APC aspirants, would attack APC for hypocrisy, claiming its constitution is only enforced when convenient. A stronger ticket? If Sam-Sumana secures the nomination, his comeback kid narrative could resonate nationwide, especially with younger voters disillusioned by recycled political elites. Scenario 3. The courtroom decides. If Sam-Sumana takes APC to court and wins, APC would be forced to allow him to contest, but the process itself could drag into the election cycle, sowing confusion. election delays or distractions. Court cases could overshadow policy debates, making the election about eligibility battles rather than governance visions. Potential ECOWAS involvement. A repeat of 2017's ECOWAS embarrassment would put Sierra Leone in the regional spotlight. Again. A weakened APC brand. A court-imposed candidacy risks delegitimizing whoever emerges as flagbearer, handing SLPP the narrative advantage. Scenario 4. The grand bargain African politics thrives on last-minute deals. APC might avoid a showdown by cutting a grand bargain. Power-sharing promise. Sam-Sumana may be offered the vice presidential slot, a senior cabinet role in the event of victory, or control over specific constituencies. Factional peacekeeping. This would buy unity while preserving the letter of the Constitution. But such deals often collapse once power is won, creating post-election turbulence. Implications for SLPP and President Bio. Make no mistake, SLPP is watching this drama with popcorn in hand. A divided APC is the ruling party's best insurance policy heading into 2028. If Sam-Sumana is sidelined, SLPP will woo Kono aggressively. If he is allowed in, SLPP will highlight APC's constitutional flexibility as proof of inconsistency. Either way, SLPP wins the narrative unless APC plays its cards flawlessly. President Bio, who is expected to bow out after his second term, barring constitutional mischief, will likely groom a successor. SLPP's ability to capitalize on APC infighting may well determine whether the ruling party extends its grip on power. The broader democratic test. Ultimately, Sierra Leone's 2028 election will test three things. 1. Party constitutions versus political pragmatism. Can APC show that rules matter, or will politics override principles? 2. Regional balancing. Can national parties genuinely integrate marginalized regions like Kono without tokenism? 3. Public trust. Will voters see 2028 as a contest of ideas or just another rerun of personality-driven factional wars? A touch of humor. One Freetown taxi driver summed it up best. Dis 2028, go be like Premier League. APC de argue about referee rules, SLPP de wait to score easy goal, and we the ordinary fans just want to game nor cut light. Continental lessons. Sierra Leone's 2028 in the African mirror. Sierra Leone's looming 2028 showdown is not unique. Across Africa, opposition parties and even ruling ones are facing similar tensions: internal constitutions versus political realities, generational renewal versus old guard, and the ever-present question of whether institutions or personalities truly matter. Ghana. Delegate democracy with a price tag. Ghana's NPP and NDC have arguably the most institutionalized internal systems in West Africa, using massive delegate congresses to choose flag bearers. Yet even there, money politics, cash for votes, shapes outcomes. The lesson for Sierra Leone's APC? Constitutions can guide the process, but delegates' stomachs often make the final decision. If Sam-Sumana mobilizes diaspora funds effectively, he could mirror the Ghanaian model of monetized loyalty. Nigeria. Zoning and the perennial candidates. Nigeria's political parties wrestle with zoning formulas, rotating leadership between North and South to maintain balance. But when power stakes are high, zoning collapses, as in 2023 with Atiku versus Tinubu. The parallel to Sierra Leone? APC's 5 uninterrupted years rule is its version of zoning, a neat principle until realpolitik kicks in. If Nigeria teaches us anything, it's that rules bend when winning is at stake. Kenya. Handshakes and surprise alliances. Kenya's opposition dramas are legendary. Raila Odinga's repeated bids, combined with the 2018 handshake deal between him and President Uhuru Kenyatta, showed how bitter rivals can suddenly become allies if the system demands stability. For APC, a handshake between Samura Kamara and Sam-Sumana is not unthinkable. But like in Kenya, such alliances often confuse voters and deepen cynicism about whether politics is about principle or position. South Africa, factions and court battles. The ANC's endless tug-of-war between Zuma loyalists and Ramaphosa reformists resembles APC's factional headaches. South Africa's courts are regularly dragged into internal party disputes, echoing the possible courtroom drama awaiting APC in 2028. The lesson here? If parties cannot manage their own house, courts become both the referee and the scapegoat. Senegal, youthquakes and the power of protest. Senegal's 2024 election shocked many when opposition-backed Bassirou Diomaye Faye, a previously jailed figure, swept to power on the back of youth anger and civil society mobilization. Sierra Leone's opposition, APC included, should take note. Youth disillusionment with recycled elites can trigger sudden shifts. If APC sticks to old names, Samura, Sam-Sumana, while ignoring fresh blood, it risks being blindsided by a new movement outside the two-party establishment. What Sierra Leone can learn one. Rules need flexibility, but not cynicism. Ghana and Nigeria show that constitutions must adapt, but bending them too visibly undermines credibility. APC must strike a careful balance. 2. Coalitions may trump. Purity, Kenya and South Africa remind us that politics is about coalition building. APC may need to share the tent if it hopes to defeat SLPP. 3. Youth and fresh faces. Matter. Senegal proves that ignoring younger demographics is perilous. APC's obsession with returnees and veterans risks alienating a restless generation. 4. Courts are referees, not players. If Sierra Leone lets judges decide party battles, the result may be order in the short term, but legitimacy crises in the long run. Parties must learn to resolve disputes internally. A continental smile. If African party politics were a family reunion, Sierra Leone's APC uncle would be fighting over the chair. Ghana's uncles would be quietly passing envelopes under the table. Nigeria's uncles would argue about which tribe should sit first. Kenya's uncles would suddenly hug after years of quarreling. South Africa's uncles would sue each other for chair ownership. And Senegal's young cousins would simply grab the microphone and declare, "We're in charge now." Looking ahead, 2028 as Sierra Leone's democratic crossroads. As Sierra Leone edges closer to 2028, the Sam-Sumana saga is no longer just about one man's eligibility. It has morphed into a test of institutions versus improvisation, of whether political parties can genuinely strengthen their internal democracies or continue to treat constitutions like flexible rubber bands. 3 big possibilities loom. 1. Institutional strengthening. If APC enforces its 5-year rule, it may lose some immediate political capital but gain credibility in the long term. A rules-based approach could help entrench the idea that no individual is bigger than the Constitution, a sorely needed principle in Sierra Leone's democratic evolution. 2. Factional chaos. If the party fractures, with Sam-Sumana, Samura Kamara, and younger aspirants pulling in different directions, APC risks walking into 2028 divided, handing SLPP a golden opportunity for continuity. This would deepen voter cynicism that opposition parties are too busy fighting themselves to fight for the people. 3. The third force surprise. The real wild card is whether a youth-driven or diaspora-backed third force emerges, as seen in Senegal and even briefly in Nigeria's obedient movement. Sam-Sumana could catalyze such an alternative, intentionally or not, if APC blocks his ambitions. The stakes for Sierra Leone's democracy. Whatever path unfolds, 2028 will be more than just another election cycle. It will reveal whether Sierra Leone can treat party constitutions as living documents that guide democracy, not as tools for gatekeeping. Balance regional inclusion with national unity, especially in districts like Kono, that feel perpetually sidelined. Address the generational shift as young voters demand new leadership, not recycled veterans. Failure to address these could see Sierra Leone repeat the mistakes of its neighbors. Endless factional battles, low voter trust, and courts acting as reluctant referees. Success, however, could turn Sierra Leone into a regional model for party reform in West Africa. A final smile, for now. As one witty political commentator in Freetown recently put it, "Dis APC constitution nor na Bible nor Quran, but nor na party lottery ticket either. 2028 go show if na rules we de follow or na who sabe dance best for the crowd." And with that, Sierra Leone marches toward 2028, part constitutional courtroom, part village dance, part continental case study. The music has started, but no one knows who will lead when the drums stop. Projecting the 2028 outcomes, who holds the keys to State House? The road to 2028 looks less like a straight highway and more like a Sierra Leonean hillside road in rainy season, full of potholes, detours, and unexpected blockages. Here are the most likely outcome paths based on APC's Flagbearer decision. 1. APC with Samura Kamara, continuity candidate. Pros. Samura still enjoys loyal support among APC old guards and a segment of the northern base. His 2023 campaign left him with a structure that could be revived quickly. Cons. Voter fatigue. Many Sierra Leoneans joke that Samura has become a professional candidate, always on the ballot but never in State House. If APC repeats him in 2028, SLPP will brand the party as stale bread served fresh. Outcome projection. Respectable showing, but unless SLPP implodes, APC risks another narrow defeat. 2. APC with Sam-Sumana, the comeback kid. Pros. Massive enthusiasm in Kono, Diaspora fundraising muscle, and a compelling narrative of resilience. His candidacy could energize the base and attract sympathy votes beyond APC's traditional regions. Cons. Legal hurdles, factional resistance from Samura loyalists, and suspicion that his return is more about personal ambition than party unity. Outcome projection. If allowed to run, Sam-Sumana could swing Kono and some swing districts, making APC a formidable challenger. But if the party splits internally, SLPP still benefits. 3. APC with a young technocrat, the fresh face option. Pros. A generational shift would appeal to Sierra Leone's youth, who make up over 60% of the electorate. A fresh face could reposition APC as the party of renewal. Cons. Name recognition and fundraising deficits compared to Samura or Sam-Sumana. Internal resistance from party elders who are unlikely to surrender influence easily. Outcome projection. Risky but potentially transformative. Could spark a Senegal-style youthquake if paired with the right messaging. 4. SLPP with a BO successor, continuity of power. Pros. Incumbency advantage, control of state resources, and BO's tight grip on party machinery. SLPP will pitch stability and warn against returning APC to power after years of chaos. Cons. BO's mixed record on governance, corruption allegations, economic strain, and democratic backsliding may weaken SLPP's moral authority. Choosing the wrong successor could fracture SLPP's base. Outcome projection. If APC remains divided, SLPP has a smooth path. If APC unites behind a compelling flag bearer, SLPP could be forced into its toughest battle since 2007. 5. The third force wildcard pros. A new coalition or independent run, possibly spearheaded by Sam-Sumana if excluded, or by a diaspora-backed youth candidate, could disrupt the APC/SLPP duopoly. Cons. History is not kind to third forces in Sierra Leone. They often split votes but rarely win nationally. Outcome projection. Unlikely to capture State House, but could play spoiler, shaping whether APC or SLPP wins. The real decider, youth and turnout. At the end of the day, Sierra Leone's elections are often decided not by constitutions or courtrooms, but by who shows up to vote. In 2018 and 2023, turnout patterns, particularly in urban centers like Freetown and regional swing areas, made all the difference. If APC inspires youth and diaspora confidence, 2028 could be their year. If not, SLPP will ride incumbency like a surfer on Bureau Beach waves. A slice of humor. As one political satirist quipped, 2028 na like football final. SLPP na defending champion. APC still to argue about who go play striker. And the crowd just wants seagull, nor to VAR replay. Youth and diaspora, Sierra Leone's unseen kingmakers. The youth factor, 60% and growing impatient. Over 60% of Sierra Leone's population is under 35. That's not just a demographic fact. It's a ticking political time bomb. Young people bore the brunt of post-war unemployment, skyrocketing cost of living, and repeated cycles of political disappointment. They are also the most digitally connected generation in Sierra Leone's history, living on WhatsApp, TikTok, and Facebook, where political debates, memes, and mobilization now thrive. By 2028, the Yagba generation, as youth activists cheekily call themselves, borrowing from Nigerian slang for stubborn resilience, will expect more than recycled promises. They want jobs, transparency, and leaders who speak their language. If APC or SLPP fails to engage them, a youthquake could emerge, echoing Senegal's Bassirou Diomaye Faye shock victory in 2024. Imagine a young, charismatic Sierra Leonean technocrat backed by online campaigns and diaspora funds. It may sound unlikely now, but so did Senegal's youth-driven revolution until it happened. The diaspora dimension, money, messaging, and mobilization. Sierra Leone's diaspora, spread across the U.S., UK, and Canada, sends home over $500 million annually in remittances, dwarfing foreign aid in some years. This economic power translates into political clout. Diaspora groups fund campaigns, shape narratives online, and even mobilize relatives back home. Sam-Sumana, having lived in political exile abroad, knows this well. His team is already cultivating diaspora networks that could bankroll rallies, fund delegate outreach, and amplify his message on social media. APC and SLPP alike will need to keep diaspora voters and donors sweet, from flashy town hall meetings in Maryland to WhatsApp groups in Peckham. But here's the catch. While diaspora enthusiasm is high, diaspora patience is low. They are quick to criticize leaders for corruption, tribalism, or economic mismanagement, and their voices travel fast online. A party that wins the diaspora WhatsApp war often gains an edge in shaping global perception of legitimacy. Youth plus diaspora, the potential alliance. The real game changer could be if youth and diaspora align. Picture this. Diaspora networks fund campaigns for reform-minded candidates. Youth activists on the ground mobilize street energy and digital campaigns. Together, they challenge the dominance of APC and SLPP. This alliance is still speculative, but 2028 may be the year Sierra Leone tests whether its politics can be disrupted by bottom-up forces rather than just top-down elites. Africa-wide comparison Senegal, 2024. Diaspora donations plus youth anger delivered an outsider victory. Nigeria, 2023. Peter Obi's obedient movement electrified youth and diaspora alike, even if it fell short of victory. Liberia, 2017 and 2023, diaspora-funded campaigns played decisive roles in George Weah's rise and fall. Sierra Leone could be next. A touch of humor. As a youth activist in Freetown recently said, APC and SLPP they argue about constitution, but no we the youth go write the result. On ballot paper or on TikTok, youth and diaspora impact scenarios, tilting the 2028 scales 1. APC harnesses youth energy. If APC embraces reform-minded messaging and gives younger leaders visibility or even a VP slot, it could flip urban youth anger into votes. Add diaspora fundraising muscle, and APC could mount its strongest challenge yet to SLPP's incumbency. 2. SLPP courts the diaspora. If SLPP positions itself as the party of stability while promising reforms, it could attract diaspora moderates wary of APC factionalism. A well-packaged SLPP successor to President Bio could sell continuity with change, keeping the ruling party in State House. Third force emergence. A diaspora-backed candidate or youth-driven coalition could shock the duopoly. Even if they don't win outright, they could split votes in swing regions, making them kingmakers in post-election alliances. Fourth, digital wildfire scenario. In the age of WhatsApp and TikTok, one viral video can shift national narratives overnight. A charismatic youth activist or diaspora campaigner could upend traditional ground politics. Sierra Leone may be underestimating this force. Advice to African leaders. A continental reflection. The Sam-Sumana saga is more than Sierra Leone's headache. It's a continental lesson. African leaders and party bosses should take note. 1. Constitutions are not decorations. Whether national or party level, rules must be applied fairly. Selective enforcement erodes trust faster than economic hardship. 2. Youth are no longer a side note. With Africa's median age at 19, leaders who ignore youth demands are sowing the seeds of their own defeat. Invest in jobs, education, and digital inclusion, or face a political youthquake. 3. Diaspora is more than remittances. The diaspora is a political constituency. They shape narratives, fund movements, and legitimize leaders on the global stage. Engage them proactively, not just during fundraising dinners. 4. Power is no longer absolute. From Senegal to South Africa, courts, civil society, and social media are rewriting the rules of political survival. African leaders must adapt to this new accountability ecosystem. Summary of key messages. Sam-Sumana's eligibility battle in APC is both a personal comeback story and a constitutional stress test for Sierra Leone. 2028 elections could hinge on whether APC enforces rules strictly, bends them for pragmatism, or ends up in court again. Factional politics within APC mirrors continental struggles, rules versus realpolitik, old guards versus new faces. Youth and diaspora are Sierra Leone's potential kingmakers. Their impatience and digital power could reshape the election's outcome. Africa-wide parallels show that constitutions matter, but political will, coalition building, and generational shifts matter even more. A final thought. Sierra Leone's 2028 election is not just about APC versus SLPP or Sam-Sumana versus Samora. It is about whether African democracies can finally prove that institutions outlive individuals. The choice is simple. Treat constitutions as compasses for the future or as party invitations that can be torn up when inconvenient. As one seasoned trader in Kono Market said with a smile, politician nor de pass, but country de remain. Na di rule we de protect all man, even dem. And with that, Sierra Leone joins Africa's unfolding story of democracy, fragile, noisy, contested, but still alive, still fighting, still dancing to the rhythm of its people. Thank you for watching The Bold African Voice, BAV, your trusted space for critical analysis, Africa-wide comparisons, and forward-looking insights. If you found this breakdown valuable, don't forget to like, share, and comment below. And of course, subscribe and click the bell icon so you never miss our bold take on Africa's biggest stories. Until next time, remember, Africa's voice is bold, and it must be heard.